Welcome to Rough Drafts, How God Writes His Love in Our Stories, a podcast that explores the faith journeys of our friends and neighbors in Burns, Tennessee. Everyone has a story to tell, and in this podcast, we'll hear powerful and inspiring stories of how God works in the ordinary lives of people like you and me. Our stories are unfinished and perfectly imperfect. They are just rough drafts, a glimpse of what is to come because God is still at work, writing plot twists, introducing new characters, and bringing good even from the most challenging circumstances. Join us as we see what God is up to in our stories. Here's your host, Matthew Hyatt.
Friends, it's another special episode of Rough Drafts today because we have one of my favorite kinds of guests on the show today. Today's guest is a fourth grader at White Bluff Elementary School. He loves reading, writing, grammar, soccer, Fortnite. He loves Minecraft. He is a thinker, and he is a very kind person. And I'm very excited to introduce to you Brogan Hayes today. Brogan, hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Did you have a good day at school?
Yes.
Are you so glad that TCAP is over?
Yes.
I bet. You know who's even more glad than you are?
Who?
Your teachers.
Yeah.
Because I think they're the only people who don't like it more than you do.
Yeah.
We have a guest host with us, a co-host today with us. Today we have Monica Gossett. Monica, welcome.
Thank you.
So this is our second kids episode, and I think this is so much fun. So Brogan, what we're going to do is just kind of talk and tell some stories and ask some questions. Monica, where do you think we should start?
Let's start at the beginning. So, Brogan, if I ask you, do you believe in God? What would your answer be?
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay, can you tell me how you know that?
From the Bible?
Is there anything that's happened in your life that made you think, wow, I don't know how people would not believe in God?
Yes.
Because he's amazing.
Yes.
Can you tell us that story?
So basically, one day, I was basically just riding in the car, and I was just thinking, like, wouldn't it be amazing if lightning struck, like, a mile away, just, like, out of the corner of my eye? And at that exact moment, I just saw lightning in that exact spot where I was planning. And I was just like, God can read minds.
That's so cool. He can, can't he?
Yeah.
Are there any other times that you feel like God has read your mind?
Yes.
Okay, like when?
So, one time I was in school and I noticed my shoe was untied. And I was walking and I was like, before I noticed that my shoe was untied, I was like, I feel like something's wrong. And at that moment, I felt the urge to just look down at my shoe.
Yeah.
And it was untied, so.
I think sometimes grown-ups think that God only cares about big stuff like war. Yeah. But I think you are really smart because you know that God cares about everything big and little.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite Bible story?
Not really, but one of my favorites are, what's his name? I forget his name. It's someone in Goliath.
David?
Yes, David. Yes.
Tell us why you love it.
I just really like the idea that someone so little and weak can defeat someone so big and strong just by thinking cleverly, by leading him into a trap, So.
That's pretty cool. And I like it because I think about how even when I'm the little guy, that means that God can bring victory to the giant that maybe I face.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think God is like?
I think he might be kind, loving, and caring. So,
Do you see that in your life?
yes.
Do you see evidences of where
Yes.
he loves you?
Yes.
How do you know that?
So, I was at school, and I was taking TCAP, and it was actually yesterday, and I got really stuck on a question. And then, well, it wasn't TCAP, it was a test that I took yesterday. I think it was on reading, I think. And I was really stuck on this one question, and I was looking back at my story. I just couldn't find the answer. And at that exact moment, I just got the answer just like out of my mind, just randomly. I just got like the idea that the answer was B, and it turns out it was B. So,
Well, that's very kind, isn't it?
yes.
That's very cool. That's very cool.
Do you want to talk about heaven?
Sure.
What do you think that's going to be like? Because I think it's fun to dream about it.
Yeah.
Because we don't really know a lot about it. Tell me what you think it's going to be like.
I think that, so there's going to be like this golden gate, and it'll open, and Jesus will be standing there. He'll be like, "You're home," and he'll welcome us. I can't talk today. He'll welcome us in, and basically, like, we'll live there for an eternity, and then after an eternity, we'll kind of, just kind of live there forever, and just be happy, and just live there, be cared for, just a bunch of good stuff.
That's a great description.
I love that you said home. He will welcome us home. That's amazing. Like, that made my heart so excited when you said that. Do you think there'll be angels in heaven that we live with?
Yes.
What do you think they'll look like?
That's okay.
I think that they'll just be like kind neighbors, and they'll look like normal people with like wings and like white clothing and a halo, and they'll just, be kind and caring.
Do you think there's angels here now? Do you think we have angels on the earth?
Yes.
You do? Would we recognize them as angels?
No.
What do they look like?
They look like normal people.
So how would we know if they were an angel?
If they did something very, very, very kind and just helped us live life better.
Okay. Good answer.
So when you get to heaven, how do you think you'll be able to tell who Jesus is? Since we've never seen him before and we don't know what he looks like, how will you recognize him?
I just feel like that we'll get like the warm sensation that we're home, and this is like our Father's son, like he's our father, and like God is like our grandfather or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll feel right, won't it?
Yeah. It'll just feel like it'll just feel like you know him. It'll just feel like you've been friends forever.
Do you feel that way now?
Yes.
Like, I know you've probably never seen Jesus. I've never seen Jesus.
Yeah.
But I feel like I know Jesus. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like if he walked in here right now, I would know him.
Yeah. Like, we would just know who he was.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we feel like we already know him, right?
Yeah.
So you talked about David and Goliath, that you love that story. And that's kind of the little guy beats the big guy.
Yes.
God says, this is how we're going to do this. And it was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anybody in the Bible you think, would not want to have to be that guy? Is there anybody in the Bible you think didn't get it right?
Yes.
Who would that be?
I would say, like, the people who worship the golden cow, and, like, just a bunch of people, like, just a bunch of people in a story or in the Bible that just didn't understand, and that didn't, like...
They just didn't know him.
Yeah.
Which, do you think is weird? I mean, he'd already been leading them out of Egypt.
Yeah.
And then they take a little break at a mountain.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, they're back into idolatry worship.
Yeah.
What do you think caused people to do that?
I think maybe because it was taking too long, so they started worshiping another, like a quote-unquote God
Right.
that was right there at them and that was quicker to get to. And I always think of the phrase, would you rather enjoy now or suffer later, or suffer now and enjoy later? And so basically I think that as enjoy life now and get, like do bad stuff and go to HE double hockey sticks, and then suffer now is being like crucified and then going to heaven for doing the right thing.
Okay.
That's a really deep thought.
It is. I was going to ask you, do you think we're still like those people at the foot of that mountain that said, make us a God?
Yes.
Do we still get impatient and easily
Yeah.
distracted? What do you think our idols are now? I mean, the truth is we don't have a lot of golden calves sitting around, and you
Yeah.
can't go to the dollar store and buy one of those.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we still have idols. What do you
Yeah.
think we get distracted with now that becomes our idol because we're impatient?
Like celebrities, kind of. Like some people will choose celebrities over God.
Okay.
So,
It could really be anything.
yeah.
It could be television.
Oh,
It could be sports.
it could be a phone or a Dr. Pepper.
Sure.
Hey, now don't do talking about Dr. Pepper like that. But you're absolutely right.
Yes.
Could be anything, can it?
Yeah.
What is it like when God forgives a person?
I feel like it would be like he would just say like, it's okay. I forgive you. If you do the right thing now, you still have a chance. No?
That's a big deal. Do you think it's hard to forgive people sometimes?
Yes.
Yeah. That's one of the things that makes God so impressive to me, that he forgives us even though that it's not easy.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about Jesus?
I just think that the idea that he will forgive everybody, no matter what they do, and that he's just caring and kind and loving. So,
That's pretty spectacular.
He's a good friend to have.
yeah.
We definitely need a good friend like that because
Yeah.
sometimes it's hard to find people who can do one of those things,
Yeah.
let alone all of those things.
Yeah.
What would you want people listening to this if they don't believe in God, they don't know God, but they wanted to? How would you introduce God on this podcast?
I would say start by going to church one day. See how you like it. If you like it, keep going. If not, study the Bible on your own. Just somehow learn about God.
Do you think everything I need to know about God is in the Bible?
Mm-mm.
Where else can I learn about him?
Heaven.
Okay. Anywhere else?
I mean, from the man himself.
Is there anything you want to ask him when you get there? What would that be?
To me, it would be, like, how long have you been here? And what, like, how long before time did you create the universe and stuff? Like,
So how long was he here before he started?
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be cool to know. Matthew's going to get to heaven and his first question is going to be wasp. Really? What was the purpose?
Yeah, seriously. Why did he make wasps?
yeah, like, why do you make wasps? Like,
We assume they have a purpose. We just
yeah,
we haven't figured it out.
I
yeah.
think they used to be good, but then they went with the devil and the serpent and started being bad. That's what I think.
So speaking of Satan, tell me your thoughts on that. Do you think Satan is still tempting us?
No,
You don't?
to some people.
Okay. How would you recommend someone to avoid allowing him to tempt us?
By learning about God and trying to go more towards God and learning more about Him and like signs that the devil is trying to tempt you.
I think it's cool that you said get closer to God. It's almost like the closer I am to Him, the safer I am.
Yes.
You know, the bully can't get you if you're standing beside your mom, right?
Yeah.
So Satan can't get us if we stand beside God.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything that you would want to talk about that we haven't thought to ask you about? You want to tell us what you've mentioned being in church and going to church and enjoying church.
Yes.
You want to tell us what that's like for you and why you enjoy it?
I just like the idea of getting closer to God, you know, just getting to know Him better and, you know, getting closer to Him as a friend.
Absolutely.
That may be the best reason I've ever heard to go to church, to get to be closer friends with Jesus. Well, Brogan Dude, you have shared some amazing thoughts with us today. Thank you very much for being with us. And friends, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Rough Drafts. Jesus said, listen to the kids. They're smarter than you know. And I think you've heard some great stuff today. So Brogan, thank you. Monica, thank you. And friends, thank you for listening. I hope that you'll share this. And until next time, I can't wait to hear what God's up to in your story.
Thanks for listening to Rough Drafts. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. While you are at it, help us spread the word by leaving a rating and review. Until next time, let's keep looking for how God writes His love into our stories.